All right, let's see if the live stream stays live this time. I will need my chat window here. Cool. All right, I don't know what happened earlier. I hit to go live just because I wanted to get things set up like I normally do, and it kept crashing, so I restarted the computer, and that seems to have fixed it. Let me go ahead and share the screen on this side anyway. Captions. Okay, all that stuff is out of there. Steve Wallace logging in. What's up, brother? For those just jumping on, you're like, what the hell is this? This is my Two Cops, One Donut. I jump on here and just do all sorts of weird things. Something I kind of want to try to do is if anybody out there has, I'm looking at the echo on my stuff right now. If anybody has a webcam, such as on your phone or anything like that, and they would like to participate in tonight's stuff, I will send you a link. Just let me know. I'll send you a link, and you can jump in and participate in tonight's body cam stuff. Usually I sit on here and roll around and try to shoot people in the face on CSGO for a couple seconds while I wait for everybody to log in. But yeah, I want to kind of have like a town hall meeting. It was kind of one of the ideas I was having. You know, town hall meetings are great. So what better way to start helping bridge the gap between, you know, first responders and the community than just all of us sitting here bullshitting and talking. You know, it's one thing to sit there and hear me talk and, you know, we'll kind of chat back and forth. That gets delayed. Let's get some other people on here. If you've got a webcam, you can easily join in on the conversation. So looks like we're playing a map I'm familiar with. Sipping a little TX tonight. That is my first sip tonight. Let me see how all my streams are doing. I don't know how to tell. I don't know how to tell if they're all on or not. I'm just going to assume they are because I'm not seeing any. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Let me exit this real quick. Chat. There we go. Yeah. Facebook user. I am watching. That's weird. I don't. Oh, somebody's shooting at my foot. Oh, they put me on the terrorist team? I specifically picked counter-terrorist. Shoot at me. I'm on your team. Watch this. We're going to get somebody sniping right here. Oh! I hit him at least 3 times in the head. Watch his health right here. This is him. Watch right. Oh, I only hit him twice for 80. That's kind of weak. Austin, Texas. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Let me get this stupid caption overlay. You guys know who I am. Ooh, the whiskey's making me cough. I can smell the fumes. So yeah, if you guys have anybody out there listening, I'm dead right now, so I'm waiting for my turn again. If anybody's got a webcam, and it could be on your iPad, your phone, your laptop, whatever, somewhat not of a crappy mic, hopefully. Jump on. We'll chit-chat it out. I plan on doing some body cam footage stuff tonight. My wife's got to work, so I'm going to be here. You know, the kids don't really want much to... Oh, this will be interesting. Just hiding around the corner here. I'll control the camera here so you guys can see. It's 2v1 right now. The terrorists are the team I'm on. I know, I try to always pick counter-terrorists because they have the M4. I like the M4 better than the AK. So you got this guy creeping around the corner. Oh, that's it. One left. Oh, it was my team that has one guy left. Oh, he threw. This is good. Yeah, buddy, the clutch. Clutch. That was nice. All right. Oh, but I do got enough for that sniper rifle. Let's see. Been working on my sniping. Let's go, let's go. So yeah, I'll just jump on here and play some games real quick. Guys. Throwing fire. Somebody's close. Danger close. I don't like to sit still very much. Oh, you're gonna throw down. You throw a smoke right there, which screws me over.
I'm throwing a flashbang.
Oh, that was a good flash. That jacked me up. That sniper's down right there. That gives me a clue that somebody's right here sniping. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oof, very close. Oh, yeah, you gotta watch your background here. Bullets go through that door. Oh, he got me from behind. Fuck. I get a little bit of Tourette's when I play this game. Let me see. So while we're doing this, things coming down the pipe for me. I met Colleen Noir. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Colleen Noir. That was pretty cool. When I went to the Joe Rogan show. So Colleen agreed to do the podcast. We didn't really set a date, so he's a busy man. But he lives in Dallas, very close. So we'll get that worked out when we can. Keep y'all posted. Let's see if anybody just decides to pop their head down here for no reason. Come on. Good, he's making noise for me. Maybe somebody come around that corner. Oh. I'm gonna creep. Keep it on the creep. Oh! I didn't know that angle was there. My bad. That's what happens when you know the map. He was waiting for me. Yep, I was a dumbass there. So, yeah, if I get Colleen Noir on, that will be awesome. He also invited me to do his pod, so got to find dates for him to work out to try to get him on here, and then vice versa. I'm sure he'll get some dates for his pod. I did not know he had a podcast, so that will be kind of cool. If you're not familiar with Colleen Noir, he is a attorney turned Second Amendment activist. Does a ton of stuff on YouTube, ton of stuff on Facebook. So look him up. Join his, couple million followers, and you can be added to the collective, as the Borg would say. I'm always looking to see if I can use a Borg reference. Doesn't happen often, but people keep telling me to stop. But resistance is futile. So. Counter-terrorists win. Oh. All right. This game's almost done. It's first to 8. I am going to use the stupid AK because I'm tired of trying to snipe people. I'm not doing a very good job tonight. I'm going to rush the middle. Whoa. Oh, nope, not rushing the middle. There's fire there.
We've dropped the ball.
Rush over here to the left on B. I'm letting somebody know that he's right here. I would like some backup, you assholes. I got nobody with me. I'm alone. Oh, the bomb carrier's coming over here. Watch this. There's a guy up here. But I missed him completely. There you go. Flashbang out. Boom. Cool. Cleared this out. I will watch up here.
Planted.
Wow, that was creepy. I could have swore I saw somebody up there. Alright, we got the bomb planted. That's a plus. Somebody come through there. Looks like it's gonna be my own teammates. I get real quiet when I start getting like super tactical. And my guys got my cover over here, so they're covering that angle. There's only one dude left. He ain't gonna push this. So I'm gonna run out and just try to kill him. I'll probably die, but it's more fun.
Come on now.
Somebody else got him. Alright. Oh, I just missed getting that gun. Did you guys see that? Damn it.
We will likely regret this day.
Buy some grenades.
Smoke!
Alright, let's go. Let's go.
I'm throwing the flashback.
Going pistols. Going hard. Somebody's there. Somebody's there. Probably got enough for a sniper rifle now. He probably ducked back.
I'm throwing a flashback. I'm throwing fire.
Oh shit, there's 5 of them in there. Yeah, I got my ass beat.
I'm throwing fire.
I am not good at this game. Alright. If anybody's jumping on, the invitation's open. If you got a webcam, whether it be on your phone, your iPad, your laptop, whatever it is, let me know. I will send you a link. You can join in on tonight's fun, and we can chit-chat while we do this. I've never had anybody else do that, so it'd be fun to do. Let me put that message out on here. I'm going to do it like an old man, too. All caps, if you're interested. And you have a camera, or, well, I guess a webcam. iPad, iPhone, laptop, etc. Send me a message on here, and I will send you a link to join. All right, where am I at? Where am I at here? Rifle. Let's yeah, I'm gonna snipe people again. I'm gonna try to. I think B worked really well for them in this last one, so if I were them, I would saturate that again. Oh, come on, Levine. Oh, that's gonna get me. Yep, I saw that come out. How is that missing? How? I was right on him. Oh, flashed me, dude. Oh, he took out 2 dudes over there. He's feeling like a boss right now. He did, though. You take out 2 dudes at once, you feel like a boss. Are you shooting at boss? I got no. Oh, the bomb got dropped. Oh! Shit. He got me good. He got the tater. All right. The gloves have been dropped, guys. I put it out there. Please. I need people to join in. Let's have some fun. If you don't got to go do your makeup, you ain't got to do. I didn't even do my hair today, so ain't got to do none of that. Grab a drink. We'll bullshit. I'll pull up some videos. We'll discuss them. We can talk about whatever topics you guys want to talk about. You can be a cop. You can be a firefighter, a military member. any type of first responder. You can be Joe Blow citizen out there, working in the factory, whatever it is. Jump on. That's part of the experiment tonight. Trying to create like a virtual town hall. And we can talk about whatever you'd like. Oh, I'm going to do the auto sniper. It is very, very debated. People do not like that auto sniper. They think it's cheating because it shoots so accurate. Well, it shoots so many rounds. Watch this. Oh, and I died. I have not killed a single person, I don't think.
Laying down smoke.
Oh, that guy was right there. But I did hit that other dude for 72. So I've got that going for me. And somebody took my auto sniper because I can hear it. Let's see. Shout outs while I'm dead. Let's go to my sponsor, Impact Tactical. They're a tactical outfitter. Part of the thing that I agreed to do with them is anytime I go live, I'm going to give them a shout out, and they deserve it. Been with them 11 years. You guys know me well enough by now. If I think something's trash, I'll tell you it's trash. If I think they're good, I'll tell you they're good. And I won't have somebody that's trash be... Oh, does this let me move this? No, it does not. Okay. I'll tell you they're trash or if they're good. And Impact Tactical is exactly what you would hope for if you're trying to get police gear or military gear or firefighter gear, whatever it is. Great equipment. Everything I wear just about comes from them anyway. It's been that way since I've moved to Texas. So totally recommend them. And then if you would like some sort of custom firearm, custom paint job on your firearm called Cerakoting, HRH Combat. You can go to hrhcombatarms.com. See my buddy Paul Ware. Let him know. Let both of them know. 2 Cops, 1 Donut sent you. I don't know if it'll get you a discount or not. Never kind of worked that out, but it would be nice if they did, right? All right. I am waiting for this game to end, and then I'm going to change it up. It's almost over. I will jump on. Matter of fact, let me pull some stuff in the other. We'll go directly to YouTube. We will go home. And yeah. Now that I got YouTube up, I got that prepped. I think I'm about to win, though. Terrorist win. It's just a game, though, guys. I did absolutely nothing. I died 6 times. That's why we're getting off of this, because I am not focusing like I should be. All right. Yes, I am sure. Quit. Let's drag this over. Badoop. All right. Everybody's favorite part. Let's go to open in new tab. I hope it doesn't automatically start. Let's see. Body camera. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out a new way to type this crap in. Body camera. I don't know what to call it. Okay. Let me mess with the filters a little bit. We'll go under 4 minutes. And then I'll just start opening up in a new tab. I try not to read anything about them. I try to just have a... Let's see. I think we've seen that one. They're all shootings too, which is a pain in the butt. Tiger attack. That's interesting. Let's go to the filters again. And go by this month, maybe. And go by view count. See how that works. Open link in new tab. Open link in new tab. Open link in new tab. Okay. All right. I'm looking at the messages. I haven't seen anybody jump on yet to say, "Hey, send me a link." Nobody. If you're listening only, and you were like, "What's he talking about?" If you send me a message, I will send you a link, and you can join in on reviewing the body cam stuff, or just chit chatting about anything topical. I was hoping to get somebody. I know I do these last minute, so there's no prep time for anybody. You're either on or you're not. Works for me. I don't have the lifestyle where I can plan this stuff out. Anybody with kids knows exactly what I mean, especially if you're dad, because we don't know the schedule that well. Let's see. Let's open that one. That one looks fun. Let's do this one. Okay. Let's do this one. Don't know what we're watching here. What else? Tiger attack again. Here we go. All right, I got a ton of videos up here now. So, the way this works, folks, is I haven't watched any of these videos. If we go across the video that I have seen, then I won't break it down. But the point is, I give you my idea, my mindset as the call's developing, so you get an inside look of how at least one cop thinks as a call's developing, rather than me sitting there. We watch the whole video and I'm like, well, the way I would have handled this was like, that's cheating, because now you already know what's going to happen. I want to go through a call that I don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes it's hard for me to ignore what the title says. I try not to look at them. I do not own the rights to any of these videos. Let's see here. Somebody said something. Graphics. Let's go to hide. Did you send a message in CDC? Somebody might want to hop on there with you. No, Steve, I did not. But you're more than welcome to do that for me if you could, sir. Let me see. I can swing it. Let me look here. If you're wondering what he's talking about, CDC is a crispy donut community. It's a closed group. Cool group for everyday carry people. Let me see here. CDC. Oh, I shouldn't have typed in CDC group because it just got a bunch of medical stuff. Crispy donut community. Visit group. Hey y'all. I'm doing a live love for some peeps with a webcam / iPhone / iPad / laptop, etc., to jump on and participate in my quotation marks town hall live meeting. Boom. There we go. Got it. I put one on there, Steve. I don't know if anybody's going to be interested, but the option's out there. So while we wait, oh geez, I hope the volume and everything's coming across all right for y'all. That came out of nowhere. I do not own the rights to these videos. I did not make them. Shout out to Fox 13 News Utah for this video. But here we go.
13 News Live at 4. Salt Lake Police have released new body camera video from a deadly shooting in March.
I do want to warn you, this video may be...
I don't like hearing the news, people. Obviously, I know this is a deadly shooting now, so they cheated for me. That's why I don't like them being on here trying to fast forward. Okay, so the way he's driving, shit's already hit the fan. I don't know what shit's hit the fan yet, but he is driving crazy and shaky right now. So I'm hoping somebody says some detail so I can tell you why I'd be getting out of the car like this.
Show me your hand!
All right, felony stop on a car. Judging by the escalation in his voice, this guy's already done some dumb stuff, probably violent stuff. So for here, what I'm going to immediately do, he's got a good angle on the car, but the guy's also got a good angle on him. And what I mean by that is if you're looking at this window here, you got this thing right behind here, the pillars, you got your A pillar and B pillar. So this pillar right behind his head, I don't want him to be able to just kind of like reach out and shoot at me. I want him to really reach and have to shoot behind himself. That'd be optimal. So for me, I may move behind my car. If you're following my mouse here, behind my car, and try to get to the back passenger side by my trunk. That way I've got as much of this car between me and him if he starts shooting. Other than that, it looks like an open field, which is dangerous enough. It looks fenced in over to the right. So these are all the things running through my mind as this is developing. If I've got my gun out, I'm probably expecting to be shot at. I'm trying to hit play on the wrong video. So here we go. All right, I heard some shots. Oh, he's got a partner. So, oh, look at that. I'm Nostradamus. He is already moving back behind. Very sketchy doing what this partner's doing. He's naked. There's nothing, no cover between him and what he's shooting at. But you have to have your own feel for the scene, the situation. I'm going to go on and trust this officer's instincts that he felt it. Like he felt this was the right move. So maybe he was trying to get sneaky peeky on the bad guy. I could have swore I heard gunshots from the car. So I want to go back.
Show me your hand!
I distinctly heard a different gun than this officer here. It could have been the other officer. I don't know. I can't tell. I didn't see a muzzle flash coming out of the car. The body cammed around too much. So I'm going to go with the assumption there's gunfire coming out of this car because he's firing. So he's moved back. He's taking cover. You can see his first few rounds hit the ground because he's trying to get the hell out of there. So let's go back.
Show me your hand!
Yeah, dust is flying. I don't know if that's the officer shooting the ground or if that's the bad guy shooting the ground. Using the car. Putting rounds on target. It's great.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
His gun's out of battery right here. So it tells me he's empty. So he's doing a reload. Which means that looks like a Glock. He probably went through about 17 rounds right there. All right. When you take a position like that as a cop, you are being shot at. That dude was ducking with the quickness on that one. So he is being shot at. Obviously not very accurate because I haven't seen any holes go through those windows. Oh, shit. No. Hell no. Okay, so partner that was caught out there in limbo, I think he decided that was a bad move. And he decided to flank back around, but now he's throwing rounds over his partner's shoulder. I would be having some words with him, if it were me, after everything was said and done, as long as he didn't shoot me in the back during it. Okay, so the initial shock of that is wearing off, and you can see they're taking time to put accurate rounds down range. So they're leaned up, pressed against that car, using it as cover, and just keeping bullets flying into that vehicle.
No, he's going passenger.
So they still see movement.
Police say 38-year-old Matthew C. Slack of Idaho stole a car at gunpoint on March 26th.
Okay, so he stole a car at gunpoint, basically carjacked somebody. That explains why the officer was trying to get there with the quickness out of the car like he did.
He kept driving when two officers tried to stop him, and
so they had a car chase, which makes more sense.
At some point, C. Slack and the officers, as you can see, exchanged gunfire at each other. The officers were not
There's a bullet hole.
In a statement, Salt Lake City Police Chief Mike Brown said in part, quote, "I am proud of our officers for the way they protect."
Well, all right. Crazy call right there. That's a way to start it out, I guess. If you are watching, if you are listening, this is the event that I would like to get other people to join in. Not just chatting. I want you to jump on with a webcam. You can do it from your phone, from your laptop, iPhone, all that stuff. I will send you a link to let you join in. Just send me a private message, and I'll get you on here. All right, that one is over with.
Well, this morning we're getting a more complete picture of an encounter caught on video.
Again, all of these videos are not mine. They don't belong to me. This one is a CBS Morning thing, so props to them. They're awesome.
Between a police officer.
All right, I don't want to hear her.
Newly released body cam videos revealed what the officers said before the confrontation that left the boy in the back of a police car. Nancy Chin shows us what the officer told the boy and his father after they brought him home.
Where are you going? Didn't we just go through this?
From the first moments of the newly released body cam video,
You were crying in the backseat of my car? Remember that?
the officer asserts this is not his first encounter with the 8-year-old boy, who he says he caught stealing a bag of chips. As he attempts to pull the child off his bike, bystander Kenneth Jackson arrives and confronts the officer.
Okay, so we got a little kid stealing from the store. This is where the parenting policing comes in. You got to treat them a little harsh, not anything physically like crazy or anything like that, but just telling him get off the bike. He's not listening, and he's got to understand, like, you don't have a choice in this. You got to do that stuff. So he's grabbing him by the coat, holding him up so he doesn't fall, but he's not listening to get off the bike. You're going to have to make him. I understand that he's 13, but break the law. Doesn't matter if you're a juvenile or not. And I've got kids. I've got one that's going to be 13 in like less than a month. So they can fight. I'm not saying fight them. That's not what I'm saying.
In what Syracuse
And this is somebody he's familiar with. This officer's dealt with him before plenty of times. So
police say was a low point. The interaction between the officers, Jackson, and another bystander grows heated.
You all take to jail. You all take to jail.
now, I personally try not to engage with any outsiders. The only time I really start to engage is if they're yelling and talking so loud that I can't conduct my investigation. Film all you want. I don't care if you film. But if you're in this, you hear how loud they are just in this. Like, if I can't conduct my investigation and even have a conversation with the person because you're being so loud, I'm going to direct you to move it along, move down the road. Go ahead and film from down there. But I need you to a point where I can actually have conversations and not have you interrupt them, and that's legal. For those wondering, we have the right. Yes, you do have the right, and I'm all about it. I'm all about the checks and balances. Film police, film them every time you see them. And more often than not, that just helps us out. That's another angle, another witness that's going to prove our point. But in cases like this, when I have to take my eyes off of what I'm doing and I have to talk to you and address you because I can't have a conversation with what I'm trying to do, that's when people who think they know their rights are violating an investigation, and we have the right to, one, we can detain you. I can put you in cuffs, put you in the back of the car so I can finish my investigation. It shouldn't have to come to that. Or I can direct you somewhere else.
I don't take to jail. Him.
Now, I would completely try to avoid trying to get people worked up.
I'm taken home.
On another body cam, we see the sobbing child struggle as an officer puts him in the back of the patrol car. He grows inconsolable.
Stop.
The boy's cries continue as an officer drives him home, where police give their account to his father.
And that's what they do every day, is they go to stores and they steal stuff.
While I'm sleeping in the morning, this kid's been thrown out of this house. I don't know where they're going.
This is like the beginning of it. So they're going to start doing more and more criminal things.
So he's trying to educate the dad on how it gets worse for parents like him, that he probably works a third shift and he comes home and he sleeps during the day when everybody else is awake, and he's having a hard time because, like, what do? You're trying to make ends meet to provide a living for your child. Meanwhile, you can't be there 24/7, especially when they're 13 years old. And they're picking up these habits from friends and whatnot, and it's hard, especially if he's a single parent.
An officer then talks to the boy and his brothers about being friends, even as he warns them to stay out of trouble.
I don't want to be seeing you guys like this again. I'm happy to say hi to you boys in the street and talk, but I don't want to be tracking you down because you're stealing from people again.
But Thursday, just 4 days after this conversation, Syracuse police confirm the 8-year-old was ordered to appear in juvenile court, charged with petty larceny for allegedly stealing another child's bike. For CBS Mornings, I'm Nancy Chen.
You know, I know a lot of police officers and police unions that didn't want body cameras, but I think in this type of situation, to then be able to see the other side of things and how things worked out, this is one of those times I'm sure I'm
glad she brought that up. And I want people to understand one of the major reasons people didn't want body cameras, police unions and whatnot, specifically the major ones I can think of, like Boston, is because there was no internal protection or policies. They just wanted these body cams to be put out there without telling the officers what the rules are going to be and stuff like that. And that's a no-go. And I wouldn't expect anybody to do that at any job. And I'm just, if they want you to wear an apron at work, or they want you to carry a butcher's knife, and you got to buy your own butcher's knife at some meat store you work at, and they want you to only carry that. I don't know, making up shit, but without rules and stuff in place for that, because you can be held liable, and they can just spring whatever fishing expedition or whatever they want on you. It's for internal protection. It has nothing to do with wearing a body cam for the citizens. I don't know any officer that thinks that they're not going to wear it because they're going to be doing dirty stuff or anything like that. It's more the internal side of that. So hold on, I think I may have somebody. Oh, my post is pending. Hey, Steve Wallace, if you're watching, my post on Crispy Donut didn't even go through. It's pending. So nobody knows in there if you can send something out on the chat. But yeah, so for her to bring up, police unions didn't want body cams and try to pose that, look at the good they can do. Officers already knew that. That wasn't the problem. The problem was for the internal policies. That's why officers had a problem with them. And you're not just going to throw something major like that. What do you do with the body camera? Do you take it home with you? What happens if it gets lost? Are you responsible for the money? There's all these different little things. You don't want to spend $1,500 of your own money if that camera gets busted and there's no policies in place that state, either one. So it aggravates me that people hear this type of message that she's trying to, the way she put it, and that's really not, that has nothing to do with it. Cops didn't not want them because they were afraid of what they may show. They're afraid of internal stuff. Like if I'm in the patrol car and it's just me and I'm in there listening to a song or whatever, and or I swear I'm on the phone with my wife, you know, that happens all the time. I'm like, you know, what'd you make for dinner? And she, I'm just making this up. Did you make anything? So when I get home, I got some food. And she's like, nah, I ain't making nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like if they catch me swearing in the patrol car on my camera, like what do the policies say on that? You know, that's what you need. You need those things discussed. You need all that stuff hashed out before you implement the body cameras. And that was what the holdouts were for people at places like that. Nope. Nobody has messaged me yet. All right, let's go to the next video. Yeah, juveniles are hard cases, man. They are a pain in the butt. There's a lot more rules with juvenile cases.
Leavenworth police released that video earlier today. They put...
All right, Leavenworth police. I know of Leavenworth, the military prison. I don't want to hear what he has to say. That's cheesy.
What's going on, man?
All right, shout out to Fox 4 News, Kansas City. That is where Leavenworth, the prison, military prison is. Okay, let's make this biggie sized. We are in HD. That's great. Does it get any better? Nope. All right. Let's go.
Man.
The incident began as an investigation involving a dispute over a car.
All right. Investigation with a dispute over a car. It could be a civil issue based on that. Oh, my chat feature. Yeah, nobody said anything. Anyway, civil issue over a vehicle, maybe. I can't tell if this is a traffic stop or not. So when the guy goes to close the door, based on if it's over a civil issue, that officer doesn't have the right to open that door. But if it is a traffic stop and we have illegal detention, then he does have the right to open that door.
Open up the door. I got to investigate a crime.
He answered the question right there. He's investigating a crime. So
7-year-old Antonio Garcia Jr. closed his car door and didn't want to cooperate with Leavenworth police officer Matthew Harrington. Body camera video released by the Leavenworth Police Department shows Garcia with a knife in his right hand.
Oh, shit. I didn't see that either. That's bad news when it comes to investigating a crime. So in this instance, I am going to have my firearm out just like he's doing. And I am going to get out from in between these vehicles because you will be a cop sandwich real quick. And I'm not trying to be a cop sandwich. So from here, I will back out and then go to the left because that looks like a nice place to get out of the way of that vehicle if he decides to put it in gear. If this guy gets this into reverse before I can get out of there, deadly force would be authorized, in my opinion, because that's a 2,000 plus pound missile right there. And if it gets you sandwiched between that vehicle, you're in Foxville. All right. Now you got a whole new dynamic here. So for me, I don't know what his condition is. I've got an unknown, and now I've got an innocent civilian in between that may interfere. I got to get her the hell out of there while trying to keep eyes on the vehicle. So there's going to be some force to get her out. For me, in this situation, I'm going to be using force to get her out of there. I will handcuff her and put her in the back of my car if I have to while trying to keep eyes on this. The thing to think of in the situation is that you don't get to watch a body cam video or any video and make your decision based on that. You have to go based on what the officer seen and knew at the time. At the time, and I don't know this case, what I would guess is he knew he was stuck between two vehicles and this guy was throwing it in a drive. That's not reasonable of anybody that's being stopped by a uniformed officer conducting a criminal investigation. He had a knife in his hand. That is not, none of the behavior he did is reasonable. considering the situation. And I'm guessing that officer didn't have an escape route, or thought maybe he did. Maybe we watched the video and he did, but he didn't think he did. So that's what's important. He didn't think that he did, and that's why he fired his gun. I know I don't wake up every day hoping I shoot somebody, so I'm going to guess this officer, because every officer I know thinks the same way. I'm not going to say they all do, but I'm going to guess that he fired his gun because he thought that's all he had left to try to stop this guy from squishing him. All right, let's get off of that. While we are in between, whoa, slow your roll. I would like you to look at the chat. I've just posted a link to my store on our webpage. I was asked about my stickers, so if you are interested, I have these nice, I think they're called vinyl. They feel like vinyl stickers. Hold up in the rain real well. These directly support the show. So if you are interested, I have these stickers. They make nice pasties or whatever you need them to be, eyeballs. Yeah, you can put them wherever you'd like. They are 3x3, or I'm sorry, I think they're 4x4. I think that's what they are. Yeah, they're 4x4 because this little test one that they sent me, that's a 3x3. But I do not have that size. I went with the 4x4 because that's what everybody said they wanted. More people said they wanted, I should say. So, listen, if you're just joining, the offer's still out there. Jump on your webcam. Send me a private message on here. I will add you to this chat. You will be on camera, and we will discuss this stuff as they develop. But let's move on to the next. I don't care about what you have to say, Mr. Newscaster guy. All right.
What's going on?
All right. Looks like we got an investigation down by the beach. Catherine Richards, my CPD friends would love this. I hope they are watching. Yeah, jump on. Catherine, I don't know how many times I've had to tell you. You're lucky that I just happened to have my phone open and was checking, but your chat does not come across on here unless you are on the Two Cops, One Donut pink donut page. This page. If you see this at the top of the page, you're at the right spot. If you see this donut at the top of the page that says TCOD, your chat feature will not come through on the live chat here. I don't know why, but it will come through on the private group page. I do have a Two Cops, One Donut private group page, which is really open to anybody, but it's closed off from the trolls, basically. Just from random people jumping in and trying to post unrelated stuff. So, but yes. So I'm yelling at Catherine right now. I'm like, what are you doing? No, I'm just kidding, Catherine. Yeah, if your people jump on, let me know. Catherine, you're more than welcome to get on your phone, and I will send you a link, and you can get on. Okay, so let's go through this. So it looks like we got an investigation by a beach. Could be a lake, could be an ocean. I don't know. I'm trying not to read any of the titles down here. So we'll play it.
Stop real quick.
Newly released body camera video reveals.
He's going to ruin this video for me, but we'll let it keep playing.
It was the first moment St. Lucie County Sheriff's Deputy Cody Colangelo.
Were you just in a crash? Ma'am, come up here. Don't walk away.
Okay, so you're in an elevated position. Make her come to you. That's what you want. Sounds like there was a crash involved. So head trauma. People have wandered from scenes because they're dazed, don't know what the hell's going on. Or they've fled the scene because they're high, drunk, whatever, and they're trying to get away.
Came into contact with Leah Day down an embankment near the water after investigators say she crashed her car on South Indian River Drive late Wednesday night.
Walk upstairs, all right? Let's get out this water area.
The 21-year-old suspect is crying and says she's scared.
Okay, so I'm watching this. She's in some sort of kind of bathing suit looking thing. I don't see her hands. And she's acting ridiculous. The crying stuff drives me nuts sometimes.
Then, seconds later, the sheriff's office says
He's
she
got her.
pulls out a knife and stabs the deputy.
Oh, she's got a knife. I did not see a knife, though. From here, I would do the same thing. I make them go up the steps first, wherever we're trying to go. You take the advantage away of being in an elevated position, which sucks, but you can't have them walking behind you either in this narrow corridor. So,
In the neck, nicking his carotid artery.
oh, she just turned and went stabby stab.
A major vessel.
Usually, people don't do well with that injury.
But Deputy Colangelo is being praised for using his
All right, no comment on the haircut.
training to save his life, applying pressure to his neck while chasing after the suspect and calling for backup.
Of all the things, that's probably the thing that was the most important maneuver before he got here.
The 22-year-old.
Yeah, anytime you get stabbed, pressure on the wound. Sounds like it nicked his carotid, is what they said. That's one of these guys here. Yeah, that's no bueno. There's a good video out there of a carotid. Your hat's crooked. My hat's crooked. I don't even got a hat on. What are you talking about?
Deputy was rushed to HCA Florida Lawnwood Hospital, where Dr. Christopher Bennett performed an hours-long surgery using a vein in the deputy's leg to help repair the wound in his neck.
So we took a piece of that and used that as a patch and oversewed the hole that was made from the knife.
Investigators believe Leah Day may have been under the influence.
May? I'm telling you right now, she was under the influence.
She faced a judge Friday and is now facing attempted murder charges. Dr. Bennett says Deputy Colangelo is lucky, and had he been stabbed 2 to 3 inches lower,
Leanna, I got the invitation out there. I am letting people jump on. Send me a message. I will send you a link. You can get on here and we can break down videos together. You can ask questions. I'm just saying. Just saying. Do you plan to shave? Look at Scruffy. Yes, it's going to come off. The wife hates it, by the way. Anybody out there? Yeah, you can see all the gray. All my wisdom's coming through. However, I've never had an actual beard. And my department I work for is letting us. They approved beards in January. So get Gerald on here too. My wife is so okay. This has got to be it's probably, you know what? It's probably my wife trolling my own show because she hates my beard. She likes the way it looks, hates the way it feels. So, Kern's on too. Okay, I am going to send you two knuckleheads a link. All right, let me jump on right here. Kern, Gerald. Is that him? Maybe. Kern. That's got to be you, Kern. All right. If you're watching, just give me 1 second. I am sending links to people so they can jump on here with us. Oh my God. It's driving me nuts. I don't know who that is. 1 second. I'm getting it to you. Boom. Paste, send. There we go. All right. There we go. So Gerald and Leanna, I sent you guys links. Let me know if you get them. And I will switch to the multi-people. The multiverse here. It looks like I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can have up to 5 people join up. So Leanna and Gerald, that link may have went to y'all's Instagram. Is there a height requirement for the force? I don't believe so. Not that I'm aware of. Uh-oh. There's Gerald. Boom. The Asian sensation. What's up, Gerald?
Hey, brother.
How you doing, man?
Good, good. This is cool.
I know, right? I can hear somebody yelling.
Oh, it's domestic. I'm just kidding.
See. Oh, go do it.
It's domestic violence.
I was about to
Is
say
that your
that.
Instagram?
That's my Instagram.
Did you send to or?
I think
did you Instagram or Messenger?
I think it's her Instagram. I didn't see a messenger for her.
Not here. It's not here.
Nope, I'm looking at it.
It's not.
All right, I'm gonna paste it right in the chat.
Oh, is it there? Okay, hang on.
See that one?
Okay.
See if that works.
I'll get to watch videos on your TV. Why is it going on my TV? Oh.
This is interesting. We are okay. I think we're done with this one. Yeah, as far as that call goes, I don't know how to handle that one any different. He kind of did what I would have done. Maybe give more distance as she was going up the steps. Pat her down prior to, but you saw what she was wearing. That may have let my guard down a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Wouldn't have expected a knife to be in what that person was wearing. So,
I assume nothing.
Karen, you can't walk around and make it all choppy. You look crazy.
Oh, sorry.
Making me sick. Gerald, for those that don't know, he is one of my buddies. We met through my community policing practice of talking to everybody I see while he was out photographing. Is that what you call it? Photographizing?
Yeah.
Gerald is what I consider a genius. I don't know if he's tested for genius, but he's one of those. He figures everything out. What was that show you was on, Gerald?
The Weakest Link.
A Weakest Link. Leanna, what's up, girl?
Hey. Just hanging out with you guys tonight.
Nice. All right.
What's the situation we got here?
Well, we're about to get into one. I am going to close this one out, and we can start our next one. So we'll just keep pausing regularly, and I'll fill in what I would do, and you guys fill in what you think needs to go down. And
this is gonna be fun.
I want body footage. Okay, there we go. I don't want to know any pre-story or anything like that. I want they're probably trying to build up this is a happy couple, and then they have a domestic. So here we go.
But it turned into chaos, as seen in this just released body cam video.
All right, there's a lot to unpack in the first few seconds. I see an officer trying to go hands-on. My opinion of going hands-on, when I do it, I'm going all the way. Like, there's no soft touch, come here. Like, hands-on is hands-on. So if I'm grabbing you, it's because I need control. Did he just get his nipple pinched? He possibly did. I did see taser lights on him. But it sounds like a busy party, which makes this even more dangerous. Alcohol, I'm assuming, is involved.
And when it was over, the bride's uncle lay dead. Daniel Knight, a father of four, appeared to be having a great time at the reception. But at 9:30, cops got this 911 call.
I have a very irate, drunk dad. He's trying to beat people up. He's yelling. He's grabbing an older woman and shoving her. Hey, guys. Yeah, it's getting pretty violent.
New body cam video shows cops pulling up to the venue.
He's our brother.
All right. So already knowing this is a reception, when family's involved, it gets bad because there's alcohol. So that becomes a nightmare. And it looks like the caller is a wedding reception worker. Doesn't look like it's family. So that's important, because to me, that's a third party that's not vested in anything. They're just reporting what they see. But what do you guys think?
Well, there's a lot of people involved, so it would be hard to decipher in that kind of like chaotic situation, like who's who,
Yeah, you don't know who's friend or foe, the dynamics of what you're walking into.
Right.
Right. Now, just to be clear, neither one of you are in law enforcement in any aspect, correct?
No. Correct.
Leanna, you're a what? Psychologist?
I'm a therapist. Clinical
Therapist? And then Kern, nobody knows really what the hell you do to make money, but what do you do for a living? You cut out.
I'm just a fixer. I just fix things.
You fix things. That's what I like to hear. So, all right, let's keep going. I'm seeing that they're coming up and saying he's our brother. He's our brother. So now you have to worry about the sisters or brothers. I think they were girls saying it, getting involved, because it looks like they're already coming over to protect him.
Police say they tried to de-escalate the situation, but claim Daniel Knight, seen here in a black tank top, lunged at two.
All right, what I see right now, as this officer already feels it because he's pointing and he's letting them know to stay back. He's blading because he's blading. This is a fighting position. And look at the sister. She knows it too because she's trying to pull at him. You can see she's pulling his shirt, trying to pull him back. That's a problem. That's a big dude. Now that I'm looking at it, that's a big guy. He's taking a fighting posture. And the sister knows it because she's trying to hold him back. He's my brother. We'll take care of him. Da, 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 da. They're not taking care of him because he's already been a problem. So these are the things I see as a cop. So I'm automatically going to get some distance because I normally, on big guys like this, I want to get a lot closer because I personally don't want to be at the end of this long, big-ass arm and it hit me in the face. So I get close to take away the punching power and hopefully take him to the ground because he looks like he's ready to fight.
Officer.
Put your hands on your back now. Put your hands.
Oh! That was a right cross on that officer's face. Let's go back. It dropped him, I think.
So he gave 2 instructions of what to do, and then the guy struck.
Yeah, he wasn't taking instruction very well, was he? I got my own instructions, bitch.
Play stupid games.
Yep. His instruction was go to sleep.
Two officers.
Put your hands on your back now.
Okay, so the officers, this is what I was talking about with the hem-hon. This was probably the same time when they showed that body cam earlier. He's like, I call it patty caking. He's not really taking a hold of this guy, either because he's scared, he's hesitating, he's not confident in his own training. Maybe he's worried about when he does grab what these other people are going to do. So you got to be more decisive. You either are grabbing him and you're grabbing him with authority, or you're getting the hell back. Because
is he by himself at this time?
Is what?
Is he by himself?
No, he's with another officer. You're looking through the second officer's body cam right here. This is the first officer, the contact officer. And he takes a right cross across the jaw and he drops straight down.
Put your hands
Boom.
Now,
So he's done.
now it's 1-on-1 versus 2-on-1.
Correct.
A taser was effective, they say. Police say he continued assaulting one cop, and that's when they opened fire. 7 shots ring out. Pandemonium erupts.
Stay back.
One cop tries to tell the other officers what happened.
The dude hit me, man. He punched me out, man. He punched me out.
Knight was pronounced dead at the hospital. After the new video was released, lawyers for his grieving family said the only thing the video establishes is that Daniel Knight did not deserve to die.
Put your hands.
So let's unpack that a little bit. Before I give my opinion, what's your thoughts on deadly force being used in that instance from what you've seen? Go ahead, Kern.
He gave instructions. He struck back and knocked the other officer out. He used the taser. That was ineffective. I don't know how far any other backup was available, but I'm kind of thinking at this point, this thing can get really bad in the next 15 seconds. You don't have control. The guy's bigger. You have it. You're armed with a weapon. There are so many things that can go wrong, and you're about to lose the advantage in the fight. It's tragic, but I'm going to go with the cop on this one.
Okay. Leanna?
So, how many cops were on the scene?
Two that we saw from the shots.
Right.
And one went down. He was knocked out.
Okay. And do we see where the other cop was in the midst of that?
Yes, he was right next to him.
Okay.
Back.
So his weapon is accessible. The guy who's down, the cop that's down and unconscious, his weapon is now accessible by this guy.
Correct.
Night, seen here in a black tank top, lunged at two officers. A taser was ineffective.
So that's the officer that went down.
They say. Police say he continued assaulting one cop, and that's when they opened fire.
There's the fellas in the front. So, from what I see, and I could be wrong, but I only see one cop here in this body cam from this other officer. So this officer here goes down straight between him and this girl here in the blue, and then now it's just this officer and him.
How much time would it take for that guy to retrieve that other guy, for the unconscious officer? How long would it take him to retrieve his weapon, off his body?
That's hard to say. It depends on the retention system they have. Like mine is a triple retention where it's got a hood on it, and you have to press it, and then you have a little release button that you have to use. So there's like this triple retention to it. So it depends. It depends on the angle. If he's trying to pull it from the officer from the front, that makes it more difficult. So he'd have a hard time. The question that I think you're alluding to unintentionally that I'm thinking of is what happens to the next officer. You know what I mean? He's right there. He's in punching range too. All for this guy to do is step over. Now, if that guy goes out, he's got the power. He's already knocked one dude out, and the taser didn't work. Yeah. I'm going to assume the officer that fired the taser is this guy that we're seeing his body cam. Because the officer that went down, both hands are on the bad guy. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Both his hands right now are on this guy. So his taser's not out. So his taser's accessible. If he has a baton, his baton's accessible. So these are all things to consider. Pepper spray, basically all the stuff on his Batman belt are available to the bad guy if he doesn't go after this officer next.
But you got to make a split-second decision.
True. And I can tell you, if I watch my partner get knocked out, I'm probably not going to think as clearly. I'm not going to think it straight because the taser didn't work. What are your options? Now I got to watch out for my partner. I got to try to protect him while protecting myself.
Yeah, and there's a weapon in play.
And there's a weapon in play now because that officer that's knocked out. And I want people to understand, just because your eyes are open and you're talking, that doesn't mean you're not knocked out.
Right.
That's another factor. I don't know if this officer was like asleep, like snoring out, or if he was like awake but doesn't remember anything.
Not fit to fight.
Right.
A taser was ineffective, they say. Police say he can.
Okay, so I heard the officer gets hit. He goes down to the ground. Then I hear the taser deployment. So he did try a non-lethal after the punch. So that's what he was trying to do. He probably had his taser out already and was waiting for a clear shot because you guys saw how close the sisters and stuff were. Now, I am obviously speculating. I can't say that for certain. But from what I'm hearing and from what I see through my training, that's what I see in this.
Well, Eric, don't you think, I mean, at this point, I'm kind of thinking about the crowd themselves, that if he does get a hold of that weapon and retaliates whomever he was fighting before we even got there, because you just don't, I mean, the context is to only so much when you get there, but like there's a crowd of people, and if he gets a hold of that gun, that could be even more potentially, because you just don't know.
Right.
He fires into the crowd trying to shoot the cop and
kill
and behind him.
Yeah.
And he still gets sued.
Right. Exactly. Sorry, I'm checking this chat.
So in other words, it's like you're not only trying to protect the officer that's next to you, but you also have this crowd of people that you're concerned that if he gets a hold of your weapon, what could he do in this state?
Yes. And that's the other thing. Like, let's say he did just try to shoot at the cops.
Right.
He's drunk off his ass, and you got people running everywhere.
Right.
Started running as soon as the cop got knocked out. Like, this is the officer on his back right now. Looks like the bride. I think that's a wedding dress. Running over him, and the taser had just went off. The gunfire hasn't happened yet.
Continued assaulting one cop, and that's when.
So I can hear the taser cycling. So this officer's down, and they said he continued assaulting. I'm not sure if he continued to assault this downed officer, which would give me more reason to shoot. If he's attacking the downed officer, now that is a concern. Is he going for that weapon to try to up his fight against the next cop? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the taser didn't work.
When they opened fire. 7 shots ring out. Pandemonium erupts.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we don't have the whole video.
Well, it's interesting because I think the question that would come up in my head just as a community member would be, why 7 shots?
Yeah. So the thing that I tell people is life is not like the movies. You can get shot and keep going. That was a big boy. And if the shots aren't hitting anything vital, they can still keep coming. And I can show you video after video of bad guys that have been shot. What is considered center mass, heart, lungs area. That's what officers aim for, is the center of the chest. And they're in the fight. They still keep coming. So that is something to consider. You shoot until the threat discontinues. So whether they go down or they stop moving forward towards you, then you stop shooting. So people get hung up. I don't think they realize how quickly those rounds come out.
Yeah.
So 7 shots, 7 seconds seems like a long time for that, but those 7 shots probably just came out in a second.
Yeah.
And plus the training, your muscle memory, you train to fire in clusters.
Typically, yes.
I mean, your muscle is trained to fire in burst mode. And I think statistically speaking, for close quarter combat don't quote me, I think like 50% of the shots miss for close quarter combat.
Oh, really?
I think it's like, so the thing is, statistically speaking, if you're in close quarter combat and you're trained, if you're going to miss 50% of your shots because you're in the heat of the moment and emotions, you might want to fire at least 6, knowing that 3 of them you're going to be not hitting your target. And that's if you're trained.
Right.
One thing on a training range, it's one thing to be on one of those training alleys, but nothing's like in training in the real world.
Right, the stress and all of that. Yeah, you're in a safe place when you're on the shooting range versus being in something chaotic like this, where almost every person there is not on your side necessarily. They're family to this dude. They've got no allegiance to you. So hopefully somebody's sober and thinking clearly to try to help out. But it was drunks trying to help drunks,
That's not a good combination, is it?
Not a good combo. You're right.
No.
All right. Well, I think we've seen as much of that one as we're going to see. Let's go on.
Next, the GBI is now shutting its investigation into a traffic stop in Holly Springs, where the officer.
I don't care what you've got to say or you. There we go. All right.
Just released to 11 Alive shows 29-year-old Anzi Dole stepping out of a car, captured here on Holly.
Okay, first things I'm looking for on a stop, hands. I want to make sure the hands are clear. Boom, boom. It looks like both his hands are clear. After that, the next thing I'm looking for is anything protruding off the hips. He's wearing shorts. He's actually just making this kind of easy for me because he's wearing tighter fit clothes, so a gun would be printing or a knife. Hopefully, not always, but hopefully it would be printing. And then anything in arm's reach. I see a partner across the way. So that is a plus. I'm going to trust my partner to have been looking inside the car on the driver's side. I don't see anybody else in the vehicle. These are all the things running through my mind very quickly as I'm doing a traffic stop. The next thing I want to do if I've got him stepping out is I want to shut this door. I don't want him to have quick access back to the car.
So Eric, can I ask a question? What would prompt a law enforcement officer to ask someone to get out of the car when it comes to traffic stops?
So it's a great question. Traffic in itself, it looks like they're next to a road. If traffic's busy, it's really hard to have a conversation. It's hard to hear. So I may have them step out, have them come over to the passenger side. One, so my car camera can get that interaction. And two, so I can hear what the dude's saying a lot closer together. Another reason to separate them is if you think there's something in the car that maybe my partner's seen, and he gave me the signal like, hey, have him step out. So that's to create separation without giving away your cards, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And sometimes they just get out on their own. And if they're already getting out, my opinion, they're trying to separate themselves from something. So I want them away from whatever it is they're trying to separate themselves from, whether that be a gun or dope or whatever. Because I'll get to that eventually. I just don't want you reaching for something that I may mistake as a weapon and you were trying to hide dope or whatever it is.
Right.
Springs police officer Joe Burson's body camera. The GBI report indicates
he shut the car door, it looked like.
Sergeant Andrew Drake
he didn't.
Dulce for driving 72 and a 40 mile.
Okay, so this is a traffic stop on speed. 72 and 40 something. Okay. Bad boy, whatever. I'm not big into traffic violations. This does look like a 2-lane road, so that does make that a little more dangerous. And if that's what you stopped them for, that's what you stopped them for. I'm not going to hate on anybody making traffic stops. So from here, he didn't shut the door. I would have shut that door personally. Plus, traffic lights on a cop car attract drunks. So if a car comes by, he may swing in and hit that door.
Mile-per-hour zone.
What's in your pockets?
The GBI report shows.
I don't like asking that question for that very reason. Because if there's something in your pockets that I need to worry about, now your instinct is to reach in. What's in your pockets? Oh, like I would reach in my pockets. Mm-hmm. So I'll say something to the effect of, hey, do me a favor. Keep your hands above your waist real quick. I see something protruding from your shorts. I'm going to pat it down real quick to make sure it's not anything I need to worry about, which is within the legal rights of the stop.
But that's also too, Eric, something that you do that I so respect is because you actually talk them through your process. I mean, was something that when I was on your podcast that really struck me as important.
It is, and it's an acquired skill that it's indoctrinated into cops to talk in that secret squirrel, 10-15, which is basically he's got to go to jail, put cuffs on him, and all of that stuff. Sometimes the lingo in the unknown is what is causing the anxiety, and the fight or flight takes over, and that's what I found. So if you hear me on camera and I'm dealing with you, and then you fight me, everybody's going to be on my side because I told you exactly what I'm expecting. Now, I don't always do that. Like, if I know I'm dealing with a homicide suspect, I know he's that, but he doesn't know I know that.
Right.
I'm not giving away any cards. I'm not telling you what I ain't doing any of that. I'm going to surprise you, shock and awe you because I ain't taking any chances.
Right.
But far too often when you lay it out there, hey, right now I think you've got, let's just say a gun in your pocket. Hey, man, I think you may have something in your pocket. I just want to make sure it's not what I think it is. So I want you to keep your hands above your waist while I check real quick. And then if he starts fighting, that gives me even more articulable reasons to say, like, I told him I thought it was a weapon, and he still acted like this, and that's why he got tased, or that's why he got shot, or whatever. That's why I punched him in the face. So let's see what happens. I'm guessing in these little shorty shorts he's got here, probably not a gun. Maybe a knife, maybe some dope. I don't know, but I could be wrong.
Dulce gave officers his brother's name and identifies Dulce as a
I don't see what I would call a gun.
MMA fighter with a criminal history and also a member of the Bloods gang. Records show he was on parole in New York for robbery and had an open domestic violence case with his wife in Illinois.
So all this information they're giving isn't necessarily something you will get while you're on the stop. It is possible to get that info. I just don't know if these officers had that specific info. Now, I can tell you, looking at the dude, he looks, one, very fit, very athletic. I'm looking at his ears. They look like they're cauliflowered on this side. I can see some bulging coming from behind, which tells me he may be a fighter.
20 months before this traffic stop, he removed a court-ordered GPS device. And days before this incident, marshals went to his mother's house looking for him. At this point in the video from the traffic stop, Dulce asks if he can call his mother or a lawyer. Officer Burson tells him he has to wait.
Why do you need a lawyer if what you're telling us is true? Because you guys were not going to arrest me. Why? 2318. Sorry? I know the drill. You said you smell pot, so we're going to search the car.
Investigators would later find these bags in Dulce's car with a leafy substance.
Was there pot in there? How much? No.
Dulce starts walking toward the car. Burson.
This is why you shut the door. You can't let him get back to the car now, especially if you suspect there's dope in there. Now, it is only weed. I don't know what state this is. It could be a bigger deal in their state than it is in others. I don't know.
Tells him to stop, and Drake tries to handcuff Dulce, and then he runs. After getting in his car, Dulce is tased and drives off with Burson hanging out of it. Drake calls for help. Moments
Okay, that's why deadly force was authorized. You're being dragged in the vehicle. That's bad news.
Yeah, it is.
I think he was just trying to escape. I don't think his intentions were to hurt an officer in this situation. They tried to tase him, as they said. It didn't work. The officer made what I would call a tactical error. I don't want to jump in a movie. I don't want to jump in a vehicle, period. Once they're in it, I ain't jumping in it for this very reason. But everybody's training is a little different. Sometimes what I call you just feel it. And what I mean by you just feel it, like, this is the move. This is going to work. It's going to stop this guy from taking off. You know, it's just like a fart. Sometimes you gamble and you lose. So I think he lost in this situation, the officer.
So later, the GBI report details Burson shooting Dulce multiple times, the car hitting the guardrail and crashing into the ditch. Both died from their injuries. After receiving the GBI's investigation, Cherokee County DA Shannon Wallace wrote, Burson's actions were justified under Georgia law, and if Dulce was alive, this office would have pursued a prosecution against him for murder as well as other charges.
Oh, so the officer died. The officer that was in that car. And he called out shots fired, so he lived through shooting.
For both the GBI and the Cherokee County DA, this case is now closed. We have those newly released videos from this incident right now on the 11 Alive YouTube page. Jeff?
Damn.
When
So that's why it's so dangerous to get into a moving vehicle or a vehicle that's about to move. I've got officers I've worked with that have been in that situation, and obviously they made it, but every one of them talked to, I wish I hadn't. I wish I had not jumped in that car.
Yeah.
But for them to say they would prosecute him had he lived.
The bad guy died too.
Right, but they would have still prosecuted the officer?
No. That's not what they're saying. They're saying they would have prosecuted the dude that died.
Okay, I thought
the suspect. Yeah, I hate calling people a bad guy. Like you did something stupid, that doesn't make you a bad person for the rest of your life normally. Well, I take that back. In this case, he killed a cop, so yeah, he's a bad guy. But more often than not, I try not to say that. You kill a cop, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay, this one has.
I also think his wife, who has the domestic violence, charges are against him, or she probably would say the same thing too.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yes.
We should go do a report.
This is the reason why I hate saying it, because then it appears that people have no road to redemption.
Right.
And I don't think that's true either. I think everybody's got some sort of road to redemption until you murder somebody. Like after that,
The person in question, the suspect,
It's a case by case basis. I'll put it that way, because then I start thinking, well, what if somebody rapes my kid?
Well, no, not only that. Remember how you got the merit award because of those two elderly men? Like that man who went to jail is a bad guy.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. All right, let's go to the next one. I don't want to read this. Where are we at? Let's move past. I don't want to read. What is this? Oh, I've seen this one, actually. We won't watch this one. This isn't a good video. I want to watch the actual body cam. I think I have it up here.
This is the Sunrise Police Department.
Nope,
It's a
not that one. Not this one. Maybe it's this guy. This is the one a lot of people have asked me about if it's what I think it is. Yes. Okay. So I kind of already know about this video, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because it's a hot topic. So you got a traffic stop with a plate that doesn't belong to this vehicle. So what I'm thinking as an officer already is either one, stolen vehicle, because that's what they do a lot of times with a stolen car. Or let's go to the most mild part of the spectrum. You've got a cheap ass that is just grabbing plates from other cars and hoping cops won't pull him over because he's too cheap to register his vehicle. So you got two different ends of the spectrum. Just depends. Depending on the circumstances and the way the vehicle's acting, I may say it's a stolen vehicle. But if they stay in the car and do all that stuff, then I may start to lean towards they're just cheap and they're trying to pull one over. So that's a bad sign already. Doors opening.
Hey, stay in the car.
Remember what I said earlier on the other vehicle when the guy got out? I said sometimes they're trying to separate themselves from something. So when I've already got one big red flag, which is the plate doesn't belong to the vehicle, which through my training experience can lead to being a stolen car, which is a felony. So I may be dealing with a felon. And then you got the fact he's trying to get out of the car and separate himself from it. Jumping out of the vehicle on a traffic stop, it happens, but it is not what I would consider a normal reaction when getting pulled over.
Stay in the car. Stay in the car.
That sounded like two different officers. I don't remember if there were two officers on scene or just one. It may have been him yelling from in the car and then him yelling from out of the car. But he's told him twice now to get back in the car. So you've ignored me twice. You've jumped out of your car with a bad plate. There's 4 red flags. Everything's adding up to me that there's bad things involved here.
Get in the car.
So now he's asked him third time, get in the car. He said, what did I do? Now he's shutting the door behind him, which tells me he's separating himself from this vehicle even more. He's ignoring already one lawful order. My personal preference, I love that he shut the door, and now I want to keep him away from the car.
Dude, I'm stopping you. You have a license? Do you have a license?
Hands are empty. That puts me more at ease. I think that's why the officer comes up on him closer because he wants to see in that vehicle.
For what? I'm stopping you. Do you have a license? What doesn't? Do you have a driver's license? Do you speak English? Yes. Can I see your license?
Reaction's a little delayed. I don't know if that's because he's not a native and he's trying to process what you're saying, or he's trying to think of an escape route that happened.
Question, Eric.
Yes.
So if you do come across someone who speaks a different language, what do y'all do?
Then you get kind of to a standstill.
Yeah.
If he doesn't speak English, then it's all hand signals. Stay here.
Yeah.
Don't run. Just you give him the no, stay, and try to figure out what language he speaks so you can
Yeah.
get somebody there that can help.
So why not just say why you pulled him over for?
Well, this is a control issue right now, in my opinion. He is trying to hold some level of control over the call. This suspect here, by you're going to answer my question before I answer your questions. That's not how it gets to go. If I think it will get this guy to calm down or something like that, maybe I'll give him a little bit. But if I tell him I think this car may be stolen and he's like, oh shit, he knows for sure, that fight might be on then.
That's true.
It's a gamble. So it's not that I don't always answer it. You just kind of feel it out. The way he's acting right now, I'm not telling him anything. Like I need to show some level of control over the traffic stop because none of this has gone well so far. Now he did ask him if he speaks English. He did say he does. So we know he speaks English.
License.
What does he want?
The plate doesn't belong on this car. Do you have a license or no?
So we told him plate doesn't belong on the car. He's asked him for a license. He's reached in his pockets like he was going to grab one. I'm not concerned about his waistband because his waistband is over his thighs and there's no gun sitting there. So,
Do you have a driver's license?
Yeah.
Where is it at?
He's in the car.
Get it for me.
he's acting high, like weed high. That's the vibe I'm getting from this dude. I don't think he's acting drunk.
The plate does not belong on this car.
So he's told him a couple times now, the plate doesn't belong on the car.
My wife right there. Right there.
No.
So he shuts the door. He never gets a license. My patience with it's over. It looks like his is over. I'm grabbing him, and he's going to be put in the back of the car until I can figure out what's going on. Because obviously now I'm dealing with two people. There's somebody else in that car, and based on all his behavior, it's leading me to believe this is a stolen vehicle.
Stop. Put your hands right.
Told him to stop twice. Told him to put his hands behind. This is the universal pulling your hands up and getting them in close to make it harder for the cop to get your arm behind your back. So he is already what we call actively resisting.
Stop. 1915. Got one running.
This is why I love when suspects wear their pants real saggy because it makes it more hard to run. From here, I'm going to tackle him. I'm still going to stay hands-on. I'm not... I haven't seen anything that would make me think weapons involved necessarily. And I tell cops, there's times you got to earn your paycheck. Right now, this is one of them. Could I tase as well? Yes, I could tase because I tried to go hands-on, and that didn't work. So if the officer decided to tase here, I'm going to assume that when he grabbed onto him, you can feel someone's strength. And you get a vibe of how strong they are and versus how strong you are. So you already know, like, this dude may be tougher than me, and I don't want to get a hand-to-hand with him. So I got to up my level. My next level is either be pepper spray, taser, or baton. So what do you guys think so far?
I probably would have tasered or peppered him by now.
Okay.
You know, especially when you had him at the advantage of him facing you, and then the moment he started resisting, I think I would have gone for at least the pepper spray. At least you would at least have him somewhat incapacitated if he tried to run.
Okay. What do you think?
I think definitely. I mean, he wasn't like aggressive towards the cop. He's definitely like more like a runner. So whatever we can do to get him to stop running, whether that be a taser or pepper spray.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah, he does seem like he's just trying to escape.
Does he have any eyes on the guy? He doesn't have any. Is there anyone watching the guy in the car?
No, I don't think there's another officer right now. Seems like he's by himself. That's
At what point should he have called for backup to begin with?
I think he did. Didn't he? He said we have a runner.
yeah. He probably, and this is me assuming, we can't hear the audio when he first stops somebody, when he first pulls them over. When the plate doesn't match, normally dispatch will already have another unit coming to back you up because it could be a stolen vehicle.
North south.
So he tackles him. So you notice his radio is in his hand. I'm going to make an assumption that the mic came undone during the first fight because it looks like he can only talk through the handheld, which sucks. Like that, if that happens, that sucks because your hand's tied up. And he's using his right hand. Most of us are right-handed. So his gun hand is tied up, and maybe even his taser hand. I don't know. Lots of commands to stop. I mean, he's trying to tell this guy what he needs him to do.
Okay. Dang. Stop! Stop!
Okay, he's still trying to get up. So this happens a lot, and people get really upset when they hear videos of somebody saying, okay, I'm not fighting. But you can't feel what the person fighting with that guy feels. And I can tell you right now, he keeps getting into what I call the turtle position. If he wasn't actively trying to get up, then I would say he had given up. But he's trying to get up. You can tell because the officer keeps trying to push his head down, and he keeps getting away from that. And you see the guy's hips come up, and you can see his back hunch up. So he's pushing off the ground. These are things that I'm picking up on as this guy is actively fighting.
This looks a little like judo sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
See, you saw all four on the ground. His knees were up on the ground, meaning into the ground. So he wasn't laying flat like he should be trying to do because the officer's giving him commands.
Get your hands behind your back. Okay. Hands behind your back.
Okay, the officer is what I call a seatbelt position. So it's a jiu-jitsu position, actually. Okay, so we got another angle here. If this officer knew any jiu-jitsu, he's actually in a prime position to take total control over the body, but not everybody has that training. But I can see the suspect is in a 3-point stance, just about trying to get back up. If anybody's ever been in a sort of grappling fight like this, you get exhausted quickly. So if you're not used to that stuff, you get exhausted even more quickly. 30 seconds to a minute is a long time. You don't believe me? Get in a wrestling match with your cousin and go all out. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
I ain't like that though. Yeah.
1950. Start with some more cars.
Okay, so he's reaching back. I see his firearms on his right side. So that tells me the officer's right-handed. He's reaching for something else. I don't know. I would assume his taser or baton or pepper spray. He's in a good position. This is where I tell people, citizens, this is a team fucking effort. We cannot do this job alone. And when you make us do it alone, this is what happens. I'm not saying you need to risk your life. You don't need to. But if more people step up and help in situations like this, and again, I'm not telling you to risk your life. If you're in fear for your life, by all means, stay out of it. But if you feel compelled to help an officer during this situation, you may help save a life. You might. What do you think about that as not cops?
No, I would jump in.
Okay.
Not my first fight. I'm Tower 10 alumni. I got locked up. If you know Tower 10, you know where they bring the folks in. There's that elevator area. And there's an area after the safety search room that you take them onto the unit. Well, I'm left with this guy by myself.
Remember, don't mention departments, please.
Right. And I'm on, the guy grabs the scissors and tries to kill me.
Oh.
And I lock him up. But the panic button, I can't reach without letting go. I can just stay locked up. But they're doing shift change. So we actually have double staff, but they're all taking report. So I'm locked up fighting for my life for about 10 or 15 minutes, it seemed. And you're right, it is exhausting. And you're playing mental chess because you're trying to figure out what's he going to do. And if you're wrong, you're going to get stabbed.
Right.
Well, I will say this. I think if I could come in and help whatever situation end with a more peaceful, and I don't feel like my life is threatened, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And
for the sake of both people, right? Yes.
Yeah, I've been in situations in this exact position, as a matter of fact, that this officer was in, and the guy I was dealing with I was already highly trained in jiu-jitsu, but his power, the guy was big. He was like 240. He's like 6'3", 240. So I had him in this position, and I looked up to two, I call them Texas Bubbas. There was two Texas Bubbas there. And I said, feel free to join in, boys. And they're like, we're just waiting for the go-ahead. Like, and they came in, and each of them grabbed a hand, and that was it. Like, they helped me just lay him flat and got him in cuffs. But having getting out of the lizard brain and going to that prefrontal cortex, thinking through this stuff, that's a trick. That takes a lot of training. So this guy may not be there. He may be in fight or flight, the officer. So he may not have the ability or the thought process to look up and see who's helping and watching or who could help. Yeah. So those are all things to consider.
No, he said he's good, but man,
so he got back up to his feet. All right. I'm not going to lie. I probably would have pulled that dude's pants down around his ankles to help me. He's got him in what looks like I have full Nelson behind the back. Which is great. Keep wasting time. That doesn't take a lot of energy. What the officer's doing here, I'd keep trying to sweep the legs, get him down back to the ground, or kick him in the butt, kick him away from me, and transition over to my taser.
Yeah. Stop. Okay.
Oh, you know who this is filming? This is the other guy in the car. So that's not an officer. That's another guy in the car.
Not resisting.
Common peroneal strike.
Not resisting nothing, bro.
Listen to that. He's not resisting nothing, bro. He's sure as shit not listening to anything. He delivered what's called a common peroneal strike to the knee or to the side of the thigh. We call it dead legging back in high school. And he's got a front sweep going. So somebody that's into judo, they probably appreciate this top side control with the foot sweep, double leg foot sweep. I can see both legs coming off the ground there. Oh, nope. He put the leg back down. That's not good. He's telling him to grab the key.
Gosh, this feels like forever and there's no backup.
Yeah.
Okay, why you gotta do all that, bro? He good, man.
That's a taser deployment. It didn't work. Okay. He's holding the taser. Now, things to consider. A taser that I have has 2 shots. So you can shoot it once, and then you can pull the trigger again, and a second set of probes will come out. I'm going to assume either the probes didn't make contact with this guy, or they contacted too close. You need a good spread. Typically, what you want from a frontal shot is something just below the nipple line, and one below the waistline. That's a good spread. If they're too close together, it just hurts in that local area, and it doesn't create that neuromuscular incapacitation, which you see him lock up and fall over. So that's what's going on, and his left arm is actively trying to hold that taser away from the officer.
Let go of the taser.
He's telling him, let go of the taser.
Let go of the taser. No, like he good. Like you can talk to him, bro.
So he's still got the taser. The officer does. You can see he's exhausted. I can tell you through my training, doing jiu-jitsu. As a matter of fact, I have a video of me in a tournament where my coach yells at me to do something. And I look over at him and I'm like, I can't. I'm tired. Like, that's how I sounded, like this guy right here.
Yeah. Like he good, bro. Like, can you talk to him like good? Like, can you? Yeah. Stop grabbing him like that. No. Nah, he good like for real. Yo, you hit him too. Hit that shit.
Officer's still in top control.
Let go of the taser. No, he ain't got no taser. I see that. Let go of the taser. Drop the taser.
All right, looks like they're going to not show the bad part. So, remember we said his left hand had a hold of that taser. I can see yellow right there. And looking at this elbow, it's across his chest. I think he's got full control of the taser now. I think it's out of his hands. I'm speculating because I don't have the angle to tell for sure. His gun is still in his holster. Oh, they're not going to show the rest. So,
wow. Well, that was definitely exhausting. But I will say this out of curiosity: how many departments or units are trained in like martial arts?
Not enough.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that. What's up, Keith? Keith, the arson guy. The problem with the martial arts in police academies is, yes, they offer it. Yes, they'll give you a 40-hour course, or they'll give you, the ability to do it while you're in the academy. That's not enough time,
right,
to be proficient and to have a long-lasting muscle memory. It is a perishable skill.
Yes.
So to really lock it in, now it probably took me, and everybody varies, but going 2-3 times a week for a few years to have a really good grasp of it. But if I were to have quit that altogether and not done it at all after that, it would slowly diminish. And the less and less you use it in the streets, when it comes time to do it, you're still not going to be that good at it.
Mm-hmm. I know for it's like in judo for our boys, a lot of it is like once you get on the ground, like you can do different moves to get out of a hold or to get out of a chokehold. But I mean, you're right. You have to practice it.
Yes. So with the police officers, oftentimes they get this badass training. They really like it.
Right.
But if the department's not offering it, they're not going out and spending their own money to go through it, especially if they're a midnight officer. They sleep all day long. They get up. They got time to, eat, handle, life's business that we all have. And they're not ready to go roll for an hour or two, at jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And I'm not making excuses for the midnight guys. It can be done. I did it. But not everybody can. Not everybody's life dynamic can let that happen. So they just depend on department training. And department training isn't enough. We don't have it enough. That's why I always propose the idea that departments offer memberships to local shops, local judo clubs, or local jiu-jitsu clubs, versus some sort of incentive, for staying fit. Because some departments do that. They'll offer an incentive. If you pass the PT test, you get $1,000 for the year, or stuff to that nature. So pay to have them go to a jiu-jitsu school. And the only way that jiu-jitsu school continues to be paid for is if you check in, once a week, so they know you went to a class.
But I mean, it's what's amazing about that is that the benefits of that could be tremendous. Like listening to that officer, he's tiring out, right? And I mean, blessed.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Keith's bringing up the fact that if you have that, like if we implemented that, the amount of workman comp claims there could be, which is true. But would you rather have a workman comps claim, or would you rather have a suspect that got killed when they didn't necessarily have to be killed if they were trained up better in grappling? I think in the end, in the big picture, having well-trained officers in grappling is going to alleviate a lot of the high-risk use of forces that we see. So it'll easily level out. That's my opinion. And that's coming from a guy who I don't get into uses of forces that often because of the training I've had. It's a weird dynamic. Like, I learned how to do all this cool stuff, and it hardly ever happens to me because either the way I present myself or being in good positions and handling things before they get to that level. And the same for other high practitioners that I work with. They don't ever get into anything. It's very weird.
Well, it's why these conversations are important, because these conversations aren't cut and dry, because you do have to think about things of like workman's comp, and you have to think about budget. You do have to think about like work-life balance, right? I mean, that's why these things are not just black and white.
Yeah. And then you get a lot of, there's public pressure on everything. Every time something bad happens. Well, why this one? You know, I watch it as a person that does jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, God, he had him so many different times where it could have been squashed without ever having to get to where it got. It's not necessarily his fault.
Right.
I just happen to take that side of law enforcement more serious. Some people think being a sharpshooter is the way to go. Some people think going to all the verbal judo classes in the world is the way to go, to try to use their words to end things. So where do you invest your time in? Because the public's going to, every time something bad happens and something like this, then they're going to point out, they're not going to say anything about that taser. They're not going to say a damn thing about that taser not working. They're going to say that he needed to have better control tactics because he was in a top position. He was on the guy. He was exhausted. He shouldn't have been. He could have handled it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm going to sign off now. So I'm going to go see our friend Zach Webb. He's
all right.
He's in concert over here at Oscar's Pub.
Very cool.
Anybody's welcome. This is so fun. How often do you do this?
I just do it randomly. I try to do it a couple times a month at least.
Well, this was incredibly insightful, and I think it's amazing at the amount of space you're creating for these kind of conversations. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is a new one for me. I just wanted to kind of try to do some sort of, oh, look at that. Well, look, I'm just trying. I'm hitting different buttons. I'm seeing what it does. Put me on the other side. There we go. This is fun.
So,
all right.
It's fun. It's working. Yeah, this was the idea behind this was town hall live, and just get as many people that wanted to join on and obviously talk like you guys are talking, you know, from your different perspectives in the world.
Amazing. Thanks for the conversation. Then I will see you soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
See ya. But what do you think, Kern? You think this is a good way to go?
I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a good, real time, just seeing what your situational awareness is like. And I think you were saying that the higher training you have, the higher situational awareness, IQ, you're able to like see things like a chess player. You're nipping things in the bud 5-7 moves ahead.
Yes.
And not 2 or 3 moves, and now you're in reactive mode.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I've told people before, they'll see like the dude that they shot at the wedding when he took that fighting stance, and it didn't look to normal people that don't deal with this stuff all the time. They wouldn't have looked at that as a fighting stance, but I knew it was, and I hadn't seen that. So I said he got in a fighting stance, and the very next thing he does is right cross the or right hook the officer and knocks him out. As soon as he took that stance, I'm either, like I said, creating distance to go to my taser, or I'm getting in to limit the amount of power he'll have with his punches.
Should the soon as he got in that stance, would you have been justified to just go ahead and deploy the taser or mace him?
Not instantly. I still want to use commands. Like, I would have told him, like, get on the ground. Like, it's done at that point. If I'm getting my taser out because I know I'm going to arrest this dude, as soon as I pull the taser out, it's verbal commands, get on the ground, get on the ground. And the second he even steps forward, if he's not listening to what I told him, he's taking a 5-second ride, and I'm going to try to get the cuffs on him right away.
Should that command have been given the moment that officer stepped in closer, so that way it's already been verbally done? Like, where I used to get into a lot of fights, I would always say, sir, and I'd get really nice to someone in a weird way just to make sure the witnesses saw me. I'm just saying it loud enough for the witnesses, but then I'd be like, I'd be into it. I'd be like, stop resisting, stop resisting. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, but we're still going. I'm still going octagon, but I'm still talking in a calm, professional voice while whipping someone's ass.
Right. In this one, or in that particular video, like the officer, when he started to go hands-on, he hasn't made the decision to arrest yet. Maybe he's just trying to get some level of control to get him away from the crowd. So I don't know.
It's not called. You got a split second to make that decision.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to call from, the back seat like we're doing right now. Keith said it's a lot of it's perception, and your perception's a lot better when you're on scene versus what we're doing.
You hear the sounds, the sights, you can feel the energy of the crowd.
Yes, all of that. So on this one, I don't know. For me, like I said, as soon as he did that bladed stance, and I saw his sister trying to hold him back, the sister's going to know even better than me what
this is that family's first rodeo.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the little subtle things that I pick up on while that call was going on. Like her saying, like, he's my brother, and then all of a sudden he's blading talking shit, because he was, and on top of the talking shit, the size of him and the sister trying to hold him back. Like, I ain't playing with you anymore. Like, I'm stepping back, getting the taser out, and I'm gonna put you down. So, but that's easy for us to Monday morning quarterback.
Right. So,
yeah.
I think we're gonna head off to Oscars. So if you want to join us, you're more than welcome to.
All right, brother. You have fun, man. Appreciate you joining.
All right.
Take it easy, boss.
Good.
Later. For everybody else, yeah, that was fun, huh? Had a good time. We've been doing this about 2 hours. I'm going to end it, but please, I posted in the chat. You can check out our whatchamacallit, our website, but I can put that up here for you right now. It is 2cops1donut.com. You can spell it all out, or you can use the numbers. You can put the number 2 cops, number 1 donut. If you want to help support the show, we got some cool stickers for sale. My cousin was telling me to make sure that I advertise them because he was looking into getting some of those. Take it easy, Keith. Appreciate you, buddy. What else? The Facebook page. This is the one you guys need to look for. The 2 Cops, 1 Donut Facebook page, not the TCOD page. Because I know I've got people that were probably trying to chat in here on that, and they couldn't. And I couldn't see it. So you got that. What else? Yeah. Episodes every Thursday. Sponsor Impact Tactical and HRH Combat Arms. Other than that, guys, it's been real. I had fun. Take it easy.